AtGames announces KI and 4K. Well, Unico's Nova Blast will really cost you, and the Arcade1Up CES no show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Another episode of This Week, the show we're talking about what happened this week in home arcades, episode 129, folks. And of course, we can't ignore the obvious. The Cowboys lost, and I know it's hitting all of you hard, just as hard as it's hitting me. Oh, also, it's Christmas Eve. Yeah, it's Christmas Eve. Happy Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas Eve, however you say it. I'm just happy it's finally here. It has been a whirlwind of a year, hasn't it? It's flown by. I think I say that probably every year. It always flies by, but I think this year it actually really did fly by. A little bit about what's been going on the channel over the past year. You know that I moved, which is something I haven't done in 20 years. So it was definitely kind of a shock. I think a little bit more than 20 years. So that was a big one to get up and kind of pick up and move into a new house and transport all this stuff and then construct this. It's been just a lot of activity, and I'm so glad it's also been full of a lot of accomplishment, getting things done. I hope that everybody has been feeling accomplished. I hope that you got all your gifts purchased and all that is done, and you can sit back, relax tonight, and hope that you were naughty. Oh, sorry. Hope that you were nice and not naughty, and you got your gifts, the ones that you've requested from the big man in the red suit with the reindeer and all that good stuff. So before we get into what I'm drinking tonight and what you're drinking tonight, and everybody, I'm so happy that you're here sharing your Christmas Eve with me. I'm honored. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're going to talk about some stuff. We're going to talk about some stuff that maybe won't be as fun. A little bit controversial, absolutely. But before we talk about what I'm drinking, before I say hi to you, we always talk about the poll question. We have one every week. This week, we're going to have not one, not two, but three poll questions. We're going to talk, and they're going to be kind of fun questions. Okay, not a lot of hard hitting numbers tonight, but I want to get everybody's. I want to check your temperature. I want to figure out where you're at. What do you think these companies deserve in their stocking this year? So we're going to start with the first poll question. Start a poll question, simple. We're going to start with the first topic, and it is Unico tonight. So it's going to be Unico, and the question is candy or coal. So vote candy, vote coal. If you don't know how you feel about it, we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the latest and greatest from all three of these companies, and I'm going to allow you to be Santa Claus. You're going to decide if they get candy or coal in their stockings. I don't know what you put in your stockings. We do a mixture. It's mostly candy, but then maybe a few little small gifts, small presents, but for the most part, it's just junk food, and it's all kinds of great, all kinds of fun. But let me know what you think about Unico this year. And you don't have to vote right this second. We can talk about the whole thing. And then I'm going to ask you at the end of the first topic, what do you think? And then we're going to do that for all three topics tonight. So hopefully that'll change up a little bit, be a little bit of fun. I'm feeling jolly tonight, even though maybe all the topics we're talking about tonight are not going to be jolly, positive, but I'm feeling jolly. I'm feeling good. Some of that is because tonight, being Christmas Eve, I broke out the special stuff. So tonight I am drinking, we're back into the Blantons, the single barrel. It is a great whiskey. Is it worth the price? I don't know. I think I'm going to say this till the cows come home. I think your best bet for your bang for the buck for the money is going to be just Jefferson's single barrel. And then, Basil Hayden toast is really, really good. So those two, one is a little bit more expensive than the other. You can catch them on sale. In Kentucky, these sales are happening all the time, but check your local bourbon distributor or your liquor stores, and maybe you can catch them on sale. But they're both just, for the money, the best way to go. But Blanton's, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Of course, with a bourbon of this quality, you want to drink it neat whenever you can. So that's what we're doing tonight. Cheers, everybody. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So we know what I'm drinking. We talked about the first poll question tonight. I've gone through my long-winded explanation about what's been going on positive and some of the challenges that I've had. But there's a big challenge tonight that I wanted to bring to everybody's attention, a challenge within the community, a challenge that a family is facing that's really super serious. I just found out about this today. And this is, I'm sure, one of many challenges and struggles that are out there. Everybody's struggling in some way. And but this is just something I found out today, and I felt that maybe we needed to talk about it. We needed to address it and throw it out there. So if you watch me, if you follow me on Twitter, I brought this up. if anybody knows JC from Tulsa Arcades, his wife unfortunately was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer recently, and he just kind of put it out there. I think today or maybe even yesterday that that this has happened. He's got 3 young kids. He's obviously got a business to run, and he shared with me, and I don't think he's going to mind me sharing this, that she's been the backbone, and she raises the 3 kids, while he's off doing his thing, bringing home the bacon, and that's. I think a lot of men can just identify with that. Without my wife, man, my kids would not get the attention that they need. Half the stuff that they needed just wouldn't get done. It takes 2 to make that, to really do the best that you can to give kids all that they deserve. And unfortunately, they're hit with something really hard, a really rough diagnosis. So I know everybody's probably got their hand out this time of year. I know you're hearing this from everybody. I know you may not be in the position to give because you've given to your family, your kids, and all that. I don't want anybody to feel pressured about this at all. It's just something that was kind of on my heart. I just wanted to share it with you. So the link for the GoFundMe for JC's wife is up. It's actually the pinned comment over on I think it should be on the top. If you're watching the live stream, should be up top. The link is up there. If you want to click on it, and if you feel led, if you want to give a couple bucks, or whatever, or maybe listen, if you're of a faith, give some prayer, or just keep them in your thoughts. And maybe if you're thinking about, doing a mod, and you've been on the fence about maybe who to go with, maybe this holiday season, if you want to buy something that's going to make your modding of your Arcade1Up a little bit easier, then jump in and maybe swing by Tulsa Arcades and check out what they got going on sale. They have just a ton of stuff. A lot of people are picking up the new Fast and Furious cabinet. So the J panel on the bottom, a lot of us were missing, I'm forgetting the main characters' names, Brian and Vin Diesel. I don't even know what his name is. I just call him Vin Diesel. But if you want those characters back on your Arcade1Up, he has options for you there. There's just a ton of other ways, a bunch of mods to increase your screen size on your Arcade1Ups, your 19s and 20-inch. He's got mod kits for you there with cool bezels to really kind of finish out the look. Just a ton of stuff, control panels and all that stuff. And then if you're even into big stuff, he's got some stuff there for you too. One-stop shop. Get a whole package together, a whole complete kit, and he can send it to you, the whole cabinet. So there's a ton of stuff on that website. If you've been going back and forth, maybe just send a little business his way. Every little bit helps. But like I said, if you're not in the position to give, do not feel pressured. Don't give if you can't, but you can give time, thought, and prayers. And that makes a world of difference, everybody. So I just want to bring it to your attention. Like I said, it is the pinned comment up there. Click that. If you're in a position to give, please give. Don't give any super chats tonight. Just think about maybe sending that money his way. That would be great. And a great way to keep the Christmas spirit going, everybody. So want to put that out there. And now I want to say hi to everybody else in the chat. What is going on, everybody? I'm so happy to see you. I know that Christmas Eve is, a bit of you're proud you should be with your family. So if you ain't here right now, if you're watching this, if you're hearing this on the replay, don't worry. You ain't hurt my feelings that you're not here. I think you're probably doing what you're supposed to do. But I'm glad and appreciate everybody that's here. Let's see who has the number 1 comment tonight. We're coming in at 11:28. The stream information went up a little bit later. This is a good one. MC Recordings is double face. That's right. Last week he was face. This week he's double face. Let's go for the triple threat. Let's go for the triple face. So looking forward to seeing that next week. Maybe you can make it a 3-peat for sure. Bo Peep, 64 is in the house. Fox, any idea when Ollie's will get certain stock of Arcade1Ups? Mine only has projector cage. That's going to be a regional thing. That's going to be divvied up based on just overflow products per region. Ollie's is kind of spread. They're pretty well spaced out all over the country. I think primarily sort of in the South, but I think they've made their way up. I know in the Cincinnati area we have some too. So I think it's going to be more of a regional thing. So it's almost impossible for me to speculate on that. But you know what? What you can do is you can get in good with the local manager at your local Ollie's and maybe say, hey, I'm kind of looking for this specific product. I got a bunch of buddies that are kind of looking for this. Can you give me maybe a heads up and see if they can offer you a little bit of advice? That would be a great way to go. That's the way that I would go. Get in good with these people, and maybe they'll give you a little bit of a heads up. Maybe send you a text or something. Show Gecko is in the house. Hey, Fox, I want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. Keep up the great content. I will catch this after hours. I will be hosting the festivities here at home with a Miller Lite in hand. Awesome. Continue to host those festivities. Have a great time, and a Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much for laying that comment down. And this is another reason why I like to throw the I got to get the stream information up quick because if you got something to do tonight, it's okay. Leave me a comment. It's great. I love to hear that everybody's got a lot of plans, having a good time. Everybody get together. There's great Game Broker 84. Merry Christmas, Fox. Was able to grab an XL Pac-Man from Costco for $2.99. My first ever Pac-Man from them. You, sir, deserve a salute because, man, your first Pac-Man, not too shabby. Hope you and your family have a great Christmas. Looking forward to the stream tonight. Yeah, I mean, we're having a great Christmas so far. A lot of activity. First Christmas in the new house. Everybody's coming over. We're having fun. We decorated cookies last night. It's a thing that we do, and we had a lot of fun. Got to meet some hopefully some new members of the family coming in. You know, cross your fingers, knock on wood. But yeah, had a great time. Having a great time, and hope everybody else is enjoying themselves too. Beach Native 78's in the house. Merry Christmas to you and the fam. Foxy and Chet. I freaking love your arcade. Hey, thank you so much. The response to the video of the tour has been great, guys. Keep it up. Keep sharing it, and I'm glad you got a kick out of it. Give me some suggestions on what you think that I should be doing differently. Change this up, change that up. Ask this question, ask that question. If I can help you out in any way, I'm more than willing to do it. Thanks for the tour. I'll be doing family stuff tonight, so I'll catch you on the replay. Have a great show. Thank you so much. I hope we'll have a good show. Muller Medic is in the house. Great walk through the Fox Den. Yeah, I think I settled on Fox Den. A lot of you suggested a bunch of different names. That's what we're going to go with. I was personally leaning towards something else, but after talking to the family, giving them your suggestions, they settled on Fox Den. So the Fox Den's where it's at. So we got to come up with a logo for the Fox Den and arcade logo. You know, Fox Den, obviously 19K Fox is going to be in there somewhere too. Maybe have a couple different lit signs, not neon, but LED, I think. Is that simulated neon? I don't know. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I look forward to tonight's stream. Salute, my friends. Salute indeed. Gotham City Arcades in the house. What's up, Battle? Merry Christmas to you and your family. When I come to CES 2024, Arcade1Up could have their event in sunny Miami, Florida to show off new cabs or report update titles for 2024, but no comment is crazy. Miami would be the way to go. I mean, if you're worried about CES, if you want to go to a place you already own. But unfortunately, I think we know that they shut the Miami branch down. But I will say this, we're going to talk about this a little later on in the stream, but they already have a YouTube channel. There's no reason why I can't just do a live stream. We'll talk about that a little bit later, everybody. But thank you so much for being here, Gotham City Arcade. I always appreciate you, man. Rights Retrocade, Merry Christmas, Fox. What a year. Mine was moving across country, giving up my cushy office to go back to being field. And couldn't be happier. Sometimes that's just the way to go. Sometimes that's where we belong. And the work may be a little bit harder, but damn, it can be a little bit more satisfying. But I'm not knocking anybody who works in the office and enjoys that. I had a similar experience a while back, and I think it worked out for the best. JJ, how you doing, buddy? Merry Christmas, 19K Fox and all. Hope Santa is being good to y'all and to our Cowboys while on the road. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts on CES. And of course, there's a follow-up comment. My fellow traveler, and we're just saddled with this fandom of being a Cowboys fan, but it is what it is. Sad to hear the news about JC's wife. What a lousy Christmas present. I've bought numerous things from them, and normally if I have a question, rather than emailing, JC will just call me, and you can't beat that. You can't beat that at all, man. He's one of those people. He's a real dude. You know, it's probably a little bit more than just a business for him. He and I exchange text all the time. He's got something new he's coming up with. He shoots it my way. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? You know, just a great guy, really collaborative, much in some ways like Glenn, very collaborative, very open, very active in the community. It's something that we have. We have this community has sort of these relationships with these third-party vendors, you know, and it's different. It's a little more, it's smaller, but that's a good thing. I think that's a good thing. Bob, how are you doing, buddy? Merry Christmas to all. Merry Christmas to you too. Say in spirits. The new games, the new AtGames KI cab is definitely way too cheap and not absolutely. Neo Geo, Merry Christmas. Oh, good to see you. Jim Pacers fan. Hello, Mr. Fox. Merry Christmas to all. Thank you for a great year of fantastic content. Thank you so much for partaking of the comment. I'm always going to do better. I'm always going to try to do better. I'm always going to put forth that effort. And as my interests and things, focuses change, I'll do my best to keep all of you with me. But we're not going to stray too far from kind of where we came, which is the home arcade and whoever is offering products within that space. Carlo, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Santa is going to pick up the Fast and Furious cabinets for boys and girls. Arcade1Up must have them. Must have made 20,000 of them. I agree, man. That thing, when it finally did come down, it stayed down for a while. I think it temporarily went out of stock at Best Buy, then it immediately came back in stock. So it's a weird thing. And yeah, JJ, I read your comment, this comment before. I read your other comment. Yeah, sadly, the fish stole Christmas. The Cowboys lost that game. The Cowboys they had plenty of opportunities and they just didn't capitalize. But the good thing is, for me, that I'm getting a wonderful present, a new knee on the 27th. I've been in pain for 9 months due to a torn meniscus. It's the knee bone or the knee, the knee. He's getting one. He's getting a new one. One of the things that's hurting him. Congratulations on the new knee. Hope the other one doesn't get jealous. Video Game Vegas, Merry Christmas 19K Box. Thank you for the home arcade tour. Spectacular. And as to the new AtGames 4K cap, I think I'll wait for a wacko skin and a new authentic lopsided cabinet design. Still cool. Still cool. Lots to talk about that tonight as well. Just a bill. How about them Cowboys? Well, a Merry Christmas to you too. On a serious note, I hope you and your family have the best Christmas yet, and thank you all for all the great entertainment. Thank you so much, Just a Bill. I appreciate it. And Just a Bill. Well, the Bills got us last week, and the Dolphins got us this week. I think, sadly, the Cowboys just aren't quite a Super Bowl team. It is what it is. Breaks my heart. Night Shadow says, Merry Christmas Eve. CM19K Fox Punk Masters. Will AtGames possibly make a Street Fighter Alpha, Street Fighter 3 collection cabinet or Arcade1Up? Keep calling me CM19K Fox Punk is not here to make friends. He's here to make money. We're doing that for sure. Who's going to beat them to the punch? Who's going to get there first? The Street Fighter Alpha / Street Fighter 3 collection? Listen, if it's a question of power, there's really no question at all. AtGames has the power. AtGames is pushing their chipset forward. What's Arcade1Up doing? Not that. They're doing not that at all. Okay, everybody. I want to say just a quick. There we go. Merry Christmas, Dan. Good to see you as always. Jolly Green. Always good to see you, man. I know you can't always stop by, but thanks for stopping by, especially on Christmas Eve, no less. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. JT Brunick just donated. Much love to JC and Michelle. Absolutely. Donate if you've got the ability. Don't put yourself in a bind. Don't overextend yourself. But if you see that you have a little extra, there's a lot of causes out there to support. And I understand if this is the one you can't support. It's okay. It's okay. But if you have that ability, if everybody could give a couple bucks, it makes a difference, guys. It makes a real difference. Thumper Squid says, hello, wonderful games. Merry Christmas indeed. Merry Christmas, Green Bay. Jim B says, Merry Christmas, Fox and everyone. Merry Christmas to you too. Bozo Calvin Jr. Sir, how the hell are you doing? Great to see you, man. Merry Christmas to Fox. Love your man cave. Thank you. Thank you. It is a cave, and it's all man. That's mostly man. I mean, there's some girls in there too. But anyway, moving on. Moving on. Zero Cools in the house. Lions clinched the division and are finally going to the playoffs. Well deserved. The Lions ain't messing around this year for sure. Sir Sega. How the hell are you? Great to see you. Merry Christmas, Fox and chat. Lots of Sega goodness this year. Wasn't it there, Mr. Sir Sega? Weapon X. Easy. Come on, we're all friends here. It's Christmas Eve. Fox wants us to be naughty. Yeah. I think that was probably a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Yeah, we know what you meant to say. All right, Fox, you're not going to hide that from us. Ricardo War 4444. Sounds good. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. Hello, everyone. Hello, indeed. So we got Bob again. We got Weapon EX. Is that Weapon X and Weapon EX? Okay. Merry Christmas. Got multiple weapons going on here. Multiples. That's always good. More than one. Which is also the kind of logic that I would apply to a super chat. This one comes to us. The first one of the night comes to us from Gaming for God $4.99. The KI AtGames is the ugliest. It's the ugliest thing I've seen yet. I see so many people happy about it, even with the $12.99 price. This is why I realized continue to the next chat. Oh, I think you've probably, I don't know if you skipped or maybe just gave out. Oh, you're kidding me. Okay, well, listen, thank you so much for your $5 super chat, buddy. Really do appreciate it. And let me scroll down and give you something. Oh, sorry. You're the first one. And there's only one place for the first one to go. That's to the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
When you care enough to send the very best, and maybe you can't afford it, just buy 2 of the other thing. Another $5. This one is another $5 chat coming to us from Gaming for God. Thank you so much for your additional $4.99 super chat. The majority of Arcade1Up owners aren't you and me, Fox. They don't care about arcade accurate cabinets or controls. I agree that maybe the focus isn't on that specifically. I don't think it's fair to say they don't care, like at all, but I think it's proportional, right? Maybe they don't care as much. Maybe it doesn't override the fact that they just want something cool in their house that's going to give them that experience, And I think Fast and Furious kind of falls in that category where it's a good looking cab with some exceptions. I think the marquee is just, inexcusable. It's got some redeeming quality. It's a fun cab. When you get this thing linked up, if you can afford to get more than one cab, you get them linked up, you can have a good time. You just have to overlook some details, some things that I didn't really like it, but hey, to each his own. Thank you so much for your second super chat. I really do appreciate it, buddy. Here you go. Soul Red is in the house saying, hi, all, putting together your new X-Men cab while I watch. You know what? The shape of that cabinet was weird, but I think the thing that really, I made my 6-player, but still, I think the one thing that really just turned me off on that cabinet, besides the high price tag, which finally came down, thank goodness. I'm glad everybody's getting one for a decent price. $399 is not bad. It's an old cab, but it's not bad. Was the fact that they added that 4th button and it's kind of in the way. And the 4th button is for a game that nobody wanted on the cab anyway. You could have just that could have been a 2-game cab, and everybody would have been fine without, wouldn't have needed that stupid 4th button. It is what it is. But I'm glad you're getting it, man. Good to hear. AC Rocks Esports. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. P-Dubs, my brother, in the house. Merry Christmas with a Christmas tree and a Christmas present next to the Christmas tree. Thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate you. Finn's Bassman. Merry Christmas, Fox and Chad. Christmas Day here in Australia. I got to see my beloved Dolphins win a great game. It was a great game. It was a good game. I think both teams, I think the Dolphins could have really run away with it, but our defense got to them. And I think we could have run away with it, but we couldn't get going. The Cowboys just could not get going. And that's something that's going to keep them out of they're not going to the Super Bowl with that kind of attitude, with that kind of play, with that kind of effort. It's just not going to happen. Whether it's the play calling, I don't know if it's the individual effort of the players. I think the play calling at this point is our problem. Angelo P., I thought you were going to pick the foxhole. When that came up for vote, a lot of people point out the fact that the second word in that could be problematic. Kind of opened yourself up to some problems there. People would have way too much fun with that one. Joe Phillips is in the house. How you doing, buddy? Christmas, drink, keeping it 100. Always. That's what we do here on the channel. Toxin, buddy, how are you? Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. Absolutely. We are 24 minutes in. We're going to have to get rolling. We're going to have to get going. But not before we say hi to Bob with his super chat, $4.99. Thank you so much for your super chat, buddy. Really do appreciate your Cowboys. Beat my boys in a nail biter tonight on Blitz. Was hysterical. That's awesome, man. Thank you so much for super chat. I'm glad the cabinet's still treating you well and y'all are still rocking and having a good time. But unfortunately, somebody in this clip ain't having fun.
Finish him. Scorpion wins. Fatality.
Whew. Toasty. You need something to cool yourself down, maybe get a nice drink or something. But unfortunately, somebody doesn't care at all about you cooling down because they keep heating it up, and it's Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger, burning it down with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much for your super chat, buddy. What's up, my brother? Merry Christmas to you and your family. Hope you have a wonderful holiday. Cheers, brother. And I did get your Christmas card. You've made the list, and you're going to be on it next year. Thank you so much, buddy. Cheers. Always supporting the channel. I really do appreciate you, man. We're sipping the Blantons tonight. So good. So good. Can't wait to see Santa Claus tomorrow. Anyway, thanks again for your super chat, buddy. $20, man. I really do appreciate you. Here you go.
Wolverine win. Rookie.
Okay, everybody. So we talked about the biggest thing, and that's a need in the community that we need to address. It is going to be the pinned comment up there. If you see it in the chat, go up there, click on that. And if you're in the position to give, please give. We talked about what I'm drinking. We talked about one of 3 poll questions that's currently up now, and it is Unico this year. What are you putting in their stockings, coal or candy? But let's go ahead and get on and move on to the first topic. Unico is up today. Number one the slot. Finally, all the questions, well, at least most of the questions have been answered. We know what it's going to cost. We know what shipping is going to be. And, tax, I think, is going to be obviously something that's going to be based in your area. But we have a rough idea of what we're really talking about now. Everything's great hypothetically. But when we really, we really do our calculations when we go to the register or we go online and we see what this is going to cost us. And what is it going to cost you? Well, it depends on what you're going to buy. So here's some of the new branding. The Unico logo has changed slightly. I like it. They got like this American flag on the Unico Facebook page. So that's cool. I'm digging that. I'm digging that focus, but I'm really digging the focus of the candy cab, which is something I'm just a sucker for. I got one right here. Real proud of it. A lot of people out there in the community have been able to snag one, and they cherish them because they're just so hard to get a hold of, and they're really awesome. I enjoy them, and I wish that everybody had the opportunity to get one. I think this is going to scratch that itch for most people. It's going to be something that is at least attainable, right? You're going to be able to actually order this, and it is available to order as of this Friday. I think it was the 20th. The 20th was Friday. Let's call it Friday. No, was it Friday? It was. Why am I not bringing this up? There we go. I'm sorry. That was actually Wednesday. So last week, midweek, you were able to go ahead and pre-order this thing, and these are the options you had. So here's the focus on the full metal candy. I think that's probably a good focus if you're talking about a way to distinguish yourself from everybody else out there that's making not candy cabs, but just home arcade, cabinets. This is a great way. It's a great thing to kind of set yourself apart, push forward. We are not just another wooden cabinet. This is all metal, baby. So there you go. Now let's talk about the first tier, some of the cheapest stuff on the, it depends on how you look at how you define cheap. But as far as this goes, some of the cheapest stuff. So we'll start with the base. Well, now, you know what? Let's start with the actual bar tops themselves. You're going to have a pretty large bar top that's going to have that 26-inch Unico monitor in it. And the topper, the marquee, the part above is going to come in 2 different flavors. One is kind of an homage to the Astro City. One is an homage to the new Astro City. They just have speaker pods. Now, back in the day, that was done to accommodate a bigger speaker. On this particular product, you're not going to have a difference in speakers. It's not like you're getting a big audio upgrade. I think it's just a choice of this style or that style. But I'm curious if the other style with the larger speaker pods, I think it's the U4, you get the U2 and then the U4. I wonder if that is going to allow you to maybe put in bigger speakers. That would be interesting. But this is going to be wired for the JAMA standards. You're going to be stuck with 8 ohm speakers as an option. It's just kind of the way that it is. And if you've done any kind of work on real cabs, 8 ohm speakers, there's not a lot of variety out there in the 8 ohm spectrum. $1,000 plus $100 to ship it. So you're looking at $1,100 plus tax to get just the bar top into your hands. Now, if you want to add the base later on, you're looking at $300 for the base plus $60 to ship it. It's all metal. I don't know if these things are going to ship. I think the bar top probably ships fully assembled, but the base, I would think you could break that down. But depending on how it's assembled, maybe not. Maybe they have to actually ship that thing fully assembled. So $360. And then if you want these arcade chairs, they are sold as a set of 2. This mimics the original chairs that were in Japan. There are other options out there. There's other stools out there. I rock something I got off Amazon. I like them. They got real thick padding. The padding on this doesn't look quite that comfortable. You could even just get a regular chair with a back and slide that up to it. That would also work too. But you're looking at $250 for a pair plus $25 to ship it. So almost $300 for a set of stools. I think that's a little bit, probably probably nobody, unless you're going for the very specific look, nobody's really going to buy that. They're just not. I mean, there's just too many other options out there, and they're a lot cheaper. And if you go to Amazon, you get free shipping. Just my 2 cents. Now, what else? Now, what are we talking about as far as what do you may just get the bar top, but I think everybody's wanting to know the big picture. What are we talking about if we want to get the big deal, right? What combos are out there? Well, here is the combo pack. The combo that I think will probably be the biggest item purchased of the people that are going to buy this is going to be just the standard combo. The bar top and the base, $1,200 plus $150 to ship it, plus whatever tax is applicable. Not exactly cheap, but I think that's probably going to be the way that most people will go. Unless you just have, I don't know, a big spot on your desk that you're not using. If you have your own mega desk, then maybe, perhaps, that's what you would do. But I think you're saving some money going this route. Just go ahead and do it this way. So, $1,200 plus $150 to ship. It's not cheap, $1,350, plus tax, $1,400. I mean, it's not cheap. Or you can go with the deluxe for $1,400 and you're going to get the bar top, the base, the 2 chairs. I don't think anybody's going to do that. I just really don't think. I mean, unless you just got money to blow, I just don't see it happening. I just don't see people going with the chairs too. It is, and I could be totally wrong. It is what it is. But there's the pricing. We finally know. No more speculation. I always thought it was going to be a $1,200 combo for the base and the bar top. Shipping, I was hoping it was going to be free. Turns out it's not. It's not free. The best things they say in life aren't free. Much like Super Chats, another $10 Super Chat. Kings of Cobra, thank you so much for your $10 Super Chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Hi, Fox. It's been a while. You're always welcome back, buddy. You're always welcome back. It's been a while since I've been able to attend a live stream. So glad to see you, my friend. We didn't ask for this KI machine, by the way. So why? Well, you know what? In this genre, in this community, in this market, we tend to get a lot of things that we just don't ask for. Yeah, like that Queen Alien didn't ask for that butt whooping, did she? No, but she got it, didn't she? That's right. And sometimes you get some things that you really didn't want, And then there's sometimes you get some things you actually do want, like another Super Chat. This is from $6. This is coming to us from the Nerd Jock Podcast. $6. Thank you so much for your $6 Super Chat, man. Really do appreciate it. Missed me earlier. I just wanted to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas. If we don't see you again before the new year, best wishes. I'm sorry I missed your first comment. You will see me again before the year's out, because at the end of the stream, I'll let you know what's going on next week. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you probably know what's going to happen next week. Thank you so much for your $6 Super Chat. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I skipped over your comment, kind of addressing a lot in the beginning, and I wanted to kind of get through this because I don't want to take up too much of your time, but we're going at least a full hour. It is what it is. But, man, thank you so much for your Super Chat, bud. Always a pleasure. Enjoy having you. And I got to say, the aliens, they're coming to get you. I told you. I told you, and you just drove right at them. I don't know. I can't help you. I can't help you. Okay, so all right. So here it is. You're looking at, the big picture. You're gonna have to go in $1,200 plus $150 to ship this thing. That's not insignificant, guys. That's not insignificant. It's a pretty big deal. $1,350, right? Then you're looking at, even if you want to I just want to get the bar top, you're still looking at $1,100. It's not cheap at all to do this. And listen, I get it. Everybody that's complaining, it's valid. Your complaints, your opinions are always valid. And I definitely see where you're coming from, for sure. But what else could you do, right? This is all you can do. What other options are out there? As far as going to the store and buying something new. Okay, well, we've got what I think is probably considered a premium product with the Unico Blast, the Nova Blast. I think it's fair to say it's premium. It's all metal. It's made to actually accept all the control panels for a Sega Astro City, which is actually pretty cool if you're looking at different control panel configurations. Maybe if you want a one-player setup, you could just buy that, swap it in. You could add some authenticity to this cabinet. Could be interesting. I think it's definitely something. The 26-inch monitor is something that a lot of people maybe didn't buy because they didn't have a use for it or didn't have a real cabinet at home. This is a great way to get into that. But is there some other way you can do something similar and save a ton of money? Yes. Yes, there is. Bear with me. I know you're looking at this like, Fox, what the hell are you talking about? I know. I haven't been drinking that much, but just bear with me. So we're talking about a $1,350, okay, a $1,350 option right here from Unico. And while I'm digging it, I'm also biased because I like the candy cabs. It's something I'm really into. I like the form factor. But the 26-inch monitor is something you cannot deny. And if you've got a beat up cabinet at home and you've been trying to figure out, I got this good PCB, but I don't have the woodworking skills, or I don't know how to, I can't put all this effort and time and money in this big giant cabinet that I can't pick up and move. Maybe you can't get it out of your garage. Maybe it's just stuck in your garage and you'd love to have it inside, but you don't have the room. Something like this, you could make that happen. You could absolutely put this in the corner of your office or spare bedroom, or, Foxed in your arcade, whatever. And this is a different option. Not cheap, but I tend to not care too much about the price if it's going to be quality. And that's the thing. I really want to see this thing in person before I just go, throwing down $1,350, right? But is there another option? Well, think about it. Go with me for a second, okay? To get a similar experience, I say that in quotations, you could go right now and you could get a Yoga Flame. You could get the Mortal Kombat. Right now, the peasant version of these arcades with the BOE monitor, 17-inch, for $299. You can go to Walmart and get that right now. Free shipping, boom. Some of them are a lot of these are actually in store now. Sometimes you could get them for cheaper than that. So you can start with that. And then, you're stuck. Obviously, there's a huge disadvantage with the 17-inch versus the 26-inch, but whatever. You're just kind of wanting the same sit-down sort of, thing. You don't have the lip marquee, you don't have the riser, but in this situation, you don't really need the riser. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, just a second. But let's say but Fox, I'm digging the JAMA connectivity. I want that. I got an old PCB laying around. I've got some, I was able to buy some of these PCBs from eBay or whatever. Maybe I've got this old cabinet and the monitor shot, but I would love to play this game I still have. Well, you can do that. You can go to DIY Retro Arcade right now, and for $200 after tax, I actually put this in my shopping cart, and I went ahead and went to check out. $250 after shipping and all that. So $250 for this DIY Retro Arcade kit. It comes with the Pandora's box. It comes with everything you need to convert this to a JAMA cabinet. It even comes with replacement 8-ohm speakers so that it all works, right? Everything's going to work like it should. So you got $300 for the cabinet. And then you got another, $250 to convert this to a JAMA cabinet, basically. That is also going to have a Pandora's box with a lot of games, thousands of games. So you're gonna be able to get that for about $600. Okay, theoretically that sounds okay, but what would that look like? Well, it would look something like this. If you put this thing side by side, now we're assuming that all the measurements are correct. With the Nova Blast compared to the Sega Astro City. All the information they've given us is that they're pretty much the same but the depth, right? The depth isn't there, which is fine. For the purposes of this discussion, it doesn't really matter how deep it is, right? If you're looking at, let's say you go and you get a 2-player, or in this case, a 4-player, Arcade1Up, and you just get rid of the riser. Get one that has a riser and just ditch the riser. This is what you're looking at to get this sit-down playable experience. These are the same stools that I have. Got these off Amazon. Same ones I use for my candy cab. And that is what it looks like side by side. If you look at them dead on, you can see this is what you're looking at. So when we're talking about this price, and sometimes maybe you're kind of, you're looking at the price. It's a huge difference. That's a lot of money. It's a huge difference. Well, this is what you're talking about. This is the experience you're talking about. This is the difference. And remember, this is a 4-player deck on the left-hand side with my Turtles cabinet. But if the sit-down playing experience, like I said, if that's something you're into, if that's something you want, well, then there you go. That is what that looks like. Is it something that you want? That's going to be for you to decide. It's going to give you that experience, I guess. One thing that is cool to note, it's pretty interesting to see. This, my Turtles cabinet is not on, it's obviously not on the stock riser. It's also not on those 4-inch risers that I have. No riser whatsoever. Sitting on the floor, the control panel height is almost exactly the same. It's almost exactly the same. Now, it doesn't stick out as far, so that's one thing. That's a detriment you're going to have. You're going to have that advantage with the Astro City or even the Nova Blast. You're going to have that advantage. The control deck's going to stick out a lot more. And that allows you to kind of tuck in underneath. These Arcade1Ups are really made to be playing standing up, even though a lot of people like to play sitting down. But if you were to sit down, this is what you're looking at. The control panel placement will be the same. 4-player deck would be really cool because you would have the space. 2-player deck would be kind of tight. And there you go. That's what that would look like. So is it possible to get the same thing from what we're talking about? I don't think so. But to get the gist of it, yeah, you could do something like this. You could pick any Arcade1Up out there that is currently on a riser and simply take it off the riser. And you could get this. And you could get it for a fraction of the price. That's just being fair. That's just being, I'm just laying it out there. I like what Unico has done. I'm digging it. But it's not for everybody. And it's also an experience that somebody could, maybe potentially get if they're willing to make some exceptions. Some concessions would have to be made. It's obviously not the same shape. It's not the same look. If you go with something a different color T-molding, it's not going to be the same color scheme. But here it is. This is what we're talking about. So when you're talking about the price difference, when you're comparing this, when you're talking about the, it's so much more expensive than a 1-up, that's crazy. Well, this is physically what we're looking at, guys. If you look at these things dead on, and I can't wait to see a Nova Blast in person to really get the feel for it all. This is what you're talking about. A huge physical difference. And it's not a CRT, it's an LCD. You're getting the Sanwa sticks, you're getting the Sanwa buttons, you're getting a lot of the upgrades that people do built in. But there's no games. There's no games. With this option over here, you're going to have to do the wiring yourself. You're going to have to do a lot of this stuff yourself. But that's not to say it wouldn't work. It wouldn't function. You could do it, but it would take some time. So you've got some of your labor and your time built into it. Does all that equal up to the price gap between these two? I don't know. It's going to be up for you to decide. But why are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why do we do what we do? Why are we into this stuff? It's to recreate what we saw in the past. And I've always talked about the Arcade1Ups as, these are compromised machines. There are compromises to be made. Anybody that pretends this Arcade1Up here is an exact replication or representation of what we got in the past, that's not fair. That's not accurate. But that's not what they're trying to be. And I never thought that was, but it was scratching an itch, right? It's a compromise machine. What are you compromising? What are you willing to compromise for the money to have a good time, to play these games in a different way? So is it worth it to you? Only you can decide that. But at least for now, we know what we're getting and we know what we're paying to get it. Now, the only question left to answer is what is Unico getting right now in their stocking? So the question, jump up in the poll real quick. The poll question, one of 3 questions tonight. And what is Unico? What are you giving Unico? We got 93 votes. Pretty good, guys. Not too shabby. Get ready because I'm going to have another one coming up soon. We're going to go in the poll in just a few seconds. The question was Unico. What are they getting in their stocking? Are they getting candy? Are they getting coal? Let's go ahead and end it right about now. And wow, okay. So Unico, you should be happy. You should be impressed. 59%, 60% of you said that they're getting candy. Thumbs up. Good job. No coal for you this year. But 40% say you're getting coal. So we got to write that down. We got a 40%. We got a 60-40 split. The candy to coal ratio is a 60-40. All right. So we'll see who wins at the end of the night, because the next one up, you guessed it, is going to be AtGames. AtGames. Now, you are the Santa Claus in this scenario. So let's talk about what is AtGames going to get in their stocking. AtGames. Candy or coal? Question mark. Here we go. Candy, and coal. Here we go. All right. The poll is up now. AtGames. The next topic. The AtGames question. And you, once again, the Santa Claus, the dispenser of the candy or the coal. What's it going to be? But, I mean, how do you know? What do we even know? Well, Fox, what do you think? Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. And that is AtGames. AtGames is the next topic to discuss, things to partake of, things to perceive. And some things need to be they need to have a little bit more perception, a little more scope. You need to really be able to broaden thine horizons to take in the grandeur of another super chat. This one is $5, $4.99. Honest Owl, thank you so much for your $4.99 super chat, buddy. Really appreciate it. Greetings. The Unico doesn't seem to have that slant like the one behind you does. I like yours way, way more. How much was it? And what's inside? Thanks. So I agree the slant isn't quite there. You make a valid point. You can see it now. It's pretty smooth. The thing is this is a fiberglass cabinet that's reinforced with steel on the inside. So they were able to get these really cool slopes and curves. It's not like a trash can. It reminds me kind of like a Star Wars droid. It's very rounded. And I say fiberglass, but it's not fiberglass in like a cheap way. It's really, really thick, really thick resin, and it's really good. It's a really good cabinet. I love the slope and everything else and the curvature and all that. The reason it's so compelling, the reason the Unico is so compelling is that for me to get that, and you can find these in the States, but the price is about the same. I had to import this from a company in China who bought them from Japan for $2,500. So that was the price of the cabinet and the shipping. Finding them locally in the States, they're asking about the same price because they know how much it is to import these. There are companies out there. There are groups out there. If you go on Facebook, there's groups that actually have these that will import them for you, or they're bringing some in and they're letting everybody know when they come in. Prices are going to vary, but around $2,000 at least is what you're going to pay, and you're getting a used product that has a CRT, and they're really good CRTs. But the power when the power supply goes out, it's not easy to find a power supply, if you want to keep it all stock. The wiring harness is, it's really nice. It's modular. But anyway, I don't want to get too long-winded into this. What's in it right now is King of Fighters 03, I think. What is it? Come on, I'm waiting for the track mode to cycle through. Is it 03 or 02? Anyway, it's one of the King of Fighters. It's the single board. It's not the Neo Geo MVS board. It's a single board because when I'm live streaming, I don't want anything with a fan. But I also have 3 different CPS2 boards combos, so CPS A and B. So I got 3 B boards and 3 or 4. Yeah, I got 3 A's and 3 B's. So each one I can just swap them out. When that goes in, that is Street Fighter versus X-Men, and then also Alien versus Predator. And I have the 3-player ROM. So that's what's in it. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. I'm sorry, it's a little long-winded answer, but what can you do? I love talking about candy cabs.
Can't you do any better?
That stings. That powered blast to the face has really got to hurt. But nothing helps me, rub in the ointment to deal with the burn. Like another super chat, this one comes to me from Galaga Guy 88 with probably my weirdest transition ever. This is the ointment. This is the burn ointment anyway, let's just keep going. $20. Thank you so much, man, for your super chat. Looking back on the year, on all the things I'm grateful for, like when you picked me up on the way to the Cleveland Gas. Wait, I'm still waiting. Thank you for all you do on the channel. Here's a start to next year's bourbon. I appreciate the bourbon fund going on for sure. And still, I'll pick you up next time. I promise. Some things are just so damn cool that there's zero cool. Not sub-zero, not positive. Just absolute zero. Like this super chat right here. $2. Thank you so much for your super chat. Would have loved to get my 4K pinball email. Oh, that would be nice, especially if you ordered one. If you order one, you should absolutely get that email. But moving on to AtGames. Once again, the poll question is up right now. AtGames, what do you put in their stocking? Candy or coal? Guess what they're bringing us next year? the Legends Ultimate 4K piece. We got a lot of news on the 4K pinball offerings and the different tables they're coming out with. They've got, I think, 5 or 6 now ready to go. Five new 4K P ready to go. Now we're looking at something else coming to us in the 4K variety, and that's the 4K, the Ultimate, the 4K ALU, not the 4K pinball. 4KP is weird. But you're getting a Killer Instinct Edition cabinet, and here's what it looks like in all of its glory. We'll talk about that in a second, but here we go. It looks like they have changed the side panels a little bit, so I think it's definitely an improvement. Is it the best thing I've ever seen? No, but that whole weird rounded top is gone. We've got more of a traditional sort of marquee shape coming out. That's definitely a plus, definitely something I'm excited about. Looks a whole lot better. Other things we'll talk about in a second, but this is it. Really leaning into the fact that they now have KI, KI1, KI2. Judging by the artwork on the side of this thing, we're getting Killer Instinct 1 and Killer Instinct 2. Is Battletoads coming? Are we getting the new Killer Instinct from Xbox? Who knows? This definitely, that's the one thing, that's the one question that we have, because we're talking about something that is going to be not just, an Ultimate, but a 4K Ultimate. And this is going to be something that's going to be interesting to watch. This is a big push, a big leap forward. Instead of scaling back like Arcade1Up's doing, AtGames is doubling down. When can we see these? The pre-orders are coming. They missed a huge opportunity. They could have spelled coming with a K. I know that might be a Mortal Kombat thing, but I think this would be perfect opportunity. You could have had a K, the K in the I, or the C in the I should have been replaced with a K and an I. I'm just saying. Come on, AtGames, you're just missing the puns. Pre-orders coming 2024. What part of 2024? Who knows? Who knows? But I gotta say, guys, I like the cab shape better, but what the hell is going on with the design here? And before we get too far into the design, just so you know that the theoretical price is $1,300, $1,299 is what they're asking for this. Not a lot of specs out there, not a ton of information. They talked about, I think, the board for the there was going to be an upgrade board for the pinball machines, and I think for the ALU. Now there's not going to be. I think they've nixed that, which kind of makes sense. So you've got a better board, you've got better specs, you've got a 4K screen, 27-inch, not a 32. Just a 27-inch, which is not bad. It's got the 16:9 aspect ratio, which means if you're going to play a retro game, it's going to be smaller than that. So you're going to have less than 17 inches, which is not the best. But if you're going to play something widescreen, this is going to be really your only out of the box plug and play option. So it's that. It's $1,300 theoretically, technically, I don't know, tentatively, who knows? Nothing's official until it's official. And then even then, it might not be official. But what would I change? So we talked about it's coming. It's coming out next year. This is the cabinet itself. I have some issues with it. What are those issues? What would I change? Well, here's what I would change. Pretty basic stuff. But I thought instead of just saying it, I would just show you. This is a rough sketch. This is kind of what I put together real quick. Basically, what you're looking at, the image on the left would be the replacement side art. Don't have Orchid on one side, Spinal on the other side, and then Lightning or the orange. I know that's from each game, and I okay, I get it, but don't do that. Just have this on the other side. Put this on both sides. You can have Spinal smaller up high. Don't crop the image, but just make it smaller and put him up there. So you still have his sword. I think is a little iconic. The red KI up at the top of the side panel, I think, is really kind of iconic. So you put that up there, and then you can very easily have Orchid, as seen on the side art for KI2, have her down low, and then have KI2 down there. So just have a black background. Don't get fancy. Lose the weird lightning. I don't know what you're doing there, and the weird, the sunset in the background. Stop. No, keep it simple. You've already got the chrome T-molding, which is a problem for some people, but it is what it is. I think you just go with a very simple side art package like this, and you're driving the same point home. You have both games represented on both sides of the cabinet. Keep it simple and move on. The front of the cabinet, once again, I don't know what this is supposed to be. I mean, you got the rare branding. Okay, fine. If you got to leave that on there, that's fine. But the weird faux coin door doesn't need to really exist. The weird lightning needs to go away. just go with simple black, and then reach out to our good friends at Retro 530. And how about you partner with them and get that molded coin door that they make? And then I didn't really zoom in, but if you look, you can kind of see on that coin door, you have the AtGames logo on the coin door. And then I thought I'd go ahead and take it one step further. And instead of just green buttons, green lit coin door buttons, instead of just red buttons, make them green. We could go back with the red if you want, but I think that if AtGames is trying to drive home, if they want to kind of show off their colors, this is their product, change the lit coin doors to a little green button. I mean, whether the lenses are green or the bulbs behind clear lenses are green, make them green, make it glow green, and then have the AtGames right there. I think that would look great. I think that would look really good. So the side art on the side, you get the idea. You see what I'm saying? It would be this, and it would be the mirror image on the other side. Simple. The front, just black, and then a very nice molded coin door. Boom, right there. That's all you need. Go with the AtGames logo on the coin door. I know we're kind of copying Arcade1Up, but who cares? It's not, they don't own coin doors. And this, if you partner with, that's another thing, partner with an American company like Retro 530 and give them some love. And then make this a special edition where this is only available on the AtGames product, and give it some green lenses for the coin buttons. I think that would look sick. And then for the marquee, get rid of that thing you're doing up there and just go with something. Now, this is a piece of art that I found on eBay. Somebody is selling this. So I'm not advocating that we steal this design specifically, but you see what they did. They incorporated Killer Instinct and Killer Instinct 2, and they kind of made their own logo representing both games. It's like an imaginary line was drawn down the middle, and there you go. You have half and half. Some of these games out there, some of these cabinets out there have JAMA switchers, and you can run both games in a single cab, and then you can do the artwork of both cabs. That's out there. I was just talking to CAG, Killer Arcade Games. He's got both. He even thought about doing that one time, but then he decided no, he just wants to keep each cabinet separate. But those kits are definitely out there. So that's what you do. That's what you mimic. That's what you go with. If you want this to be the focus, if you want Killer Instinct to be the focus, which I think that it should, and you want to represent both games, great. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't get too weird. Just do this and you're fine. And I think, to be honest, we just had a KI Pro come out from Arcade1Up. I think to further distance yourself from Arcade1Up, you get rid of that chrome T-molding and just go with blue, go with black. If you don't want it all black, go with something different. But yeah. Well, okay, Joe, that's a good point. The marquee is an LCD, so you can change their marquee. But I think the stock image that they supply should be something different besides that. Because if they change the artwork and they keep that marquee, it's going to look different. It's going to be out of place. So that's what I mean. I'm not talking about a physical, but that's a very good point to clarify. It's not a static marquee. It's going to be something changing, which is great because they could just easily just change that, right? And then you just update your cab and you're good to go. So that would be good for sure. But yeah, so I think that's what they do on the outside. I think you just my 2 cents. If you do that, that's going to be the way to go. I think that's going to be keep it simple, stupid. Somebody else said in the comment section, that's the way it should be. So all that being said, if you couple this announcement, okay, if you couple this with all the 4K pinball machines, 5 of them now, products ranging from the latest with Attack from Mars to the Peanuts, to Star Trek, to Addams Family. I mean, it's just there's a lot out there. There's a lot of skins out there. They've made some changes to the design. So at the end of the day, it's time to let your voice be heard and not smack the microphone. Let me know in the poll question, and then we're going to end it soon. Go up there and tell me. It's a simple question. AtGames this year. All right, you're Santa Claus. What's it going to be in their stocking? Candy or coal? 62 votes. I'm going to go ahead and end it right now. And you've got to be, come on, I got to get a couple more votes in here. We got to do something. Come on, vote. Candy or coal? Jump up there. Yeah, there we go. I want a separation. I want a separation. Jump up there. Candy or coal, guys? What's it going to be? Well, it's going to be, and I think we're going to have to call it 70 votes. You got to be, you got to be kidding. And boom, let's end right there. See what did we end at? Okay, we have it almost exactly the same. I think a lot of you are being charitable, and that's good. Not a lot of hate out there for these companies. We have a 58-41 split. So let's go ahead and do a 58. For AtGames, we got a 58-41 split. So candy to coal ratio is still in the positive. That's really good. So, hey, Unico, AtGames, not bringing a lot to the table this year, but I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because you're giving out the candy. It's the Christmas spirit, and I love it. And while we're riding this high, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Okay, the next topic is going to be, it's going to be a saucy one. I think everybody's going to have some opinions. But before we get into my opinions of what the heck I'm talking about, let's go ahead and start the final poll question of the night. And here it is. You know what it's going to be, kids. Arcade1Up this year. Is it going to be candy or coal in the stocking? Let me know. Candy or, spell it right. That'd be nice. Candy or coal. All right. The poll is up. Let me know what you think. We're going to talk about the latest, not the latest and greatest, it's just the latest from Arcade1Up. But think about the year as a whole. And basically, hey, listen, it's the Christmas time. It's the Christmas spirit. Maybe you're still, feeling charitable. What's it going to be? Candy in the stocking or coal in the stocking? But what are we talking about? What's going on with the latest news from Arcade1Up? Some of it's good. Some of it's bad. Some of it can be considered shocking. Almost as shocking as another super chat, $1.99. This one comes to us from Glairzilla. Thank you so much for your $1.99 super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate it. Merry Christmas, Fox. Cheers to another year. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your super chat, man. Awesome. Always appreciate it. Here you go. Not to be outdone, not to be oversold. The hits just keep on coming. Another super chat, $1.99. This another one, another super chat from Honest Al. Too late to add dog poop to the AtGames poll? Now, come on, Honest Al. Is that honest? Well, I guess it might be. I guess with these companies, it's not always, you're not always going to have a win, right? There's some losses, there's some hits you got to take. But when you take those hits, you got to get right back up, and you got to take another super chat. This one comes to us from Rights Retro K279. Man, thank you so much for always being there supporting the channel. Thank you so much for your 279 Canadian super spicy super chat. Man, that front is straight out. That front is something. It's something. Well, it's yeah.
Finish him. Wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
I don't know that I would insult Microsoft Paint by saying that, by making that claim. It's disturbing. It's harmful. It's hurtful. There's only one cure for that. It's not the super chat. This one is $4.99. Another one from Honest Owl saying, but Moat says that Killer Instinct Cab looks so beautiful. Can't be because he has an NDA with AtGames, right? I don't know if he's got an NDA. I have no idea. It is possible. He just likes the cabinet. It's very possible. And sometimes we got to take people at their word. But I'm not saying just be gullible. But come on, maybe he actually likes it. The hits just keep on coming. And, to take some hits from Orchid, not necessarily a bad thing. But you know what's even better than that? A $4.99 super chat coming to us from Gaming for God. Thank you so much for another super chat, bud. I really do appreciate it. Once again, Arcade1Up should focus on making as accurate to the real cab. But AtGames is focused on the people who don't care. Don't care about what arcades look like. I think AtGames is a multicade that is trying to pack a lot of power and trying to cater to, I think, everybody. I think that's a fair point that you're making. Arcade1Up should focus on doing what they do. And AtGames, AtGames can focus on what they're doing. It's almost like you got the Nintendo, the PlayStation sort of effect, where you've got one company focusing on horsepower, graphics, and all that. And then you have another company who's just kind of focused on what they do, their software, their IP, and doing what they do, and focus more on the fun. And so maybe that's kind of what we're talking about here. But yeah, thank you so much again for your super chat, man. And you know what? We haven't done this yet tonight, I don't think. So, oh, you know what? No. In spite of all this, talking about Killer Instinct. Here you go. Ultra indeed. Just like this super chat from Bob coming in with $1.99. Thank you so much again for your super chat, buddy. I really do appreciate you, as always, stopping by, saying hi. AtGames deserves coal flavored. That's not an option. Everybody trying to add options to the poll question. That's not it. That's not a legitimate thing. But here you go. Thank you for that super chat. And thank you for this super chat. The bad guy, Mike Worley. No. You're not fooling me, buddy. Bad? No. Aggressive, maybe. Maybe that's what it is, but it's not bad. You're not bad. Fox, I snuck away from the Christmas party to say Merry Christmas and thanks for keeping us entertained for another year. Man, thank you so much for sneaking away, but get your ass back into the party because I hate for you to miss some of that fun because I'm going to be right here on the replay, buddy. But thank you for always being here and supporting the channel. It was great to meet you this year. And let me give you something a little bit frightening, but trust me, in the end, it worked out for the best.
All right, come on, Mike. You can do this. You got this. You got this. Oh! He's down. He's down. He did it. He did it.
He's alive. He did. He made it. He's okay. He's fine. And guess who else is fine? And in the house, Jay Mason, what is going on? Unico USA in the house. What's going on? We've been talking about your ears. Probably burning. Some good things were said tonight. Some objective things. I try to keep my biases kind of hidden. Not really. Not just it is what it is. What can I say? But you know who's someone who also has something to say is Honest Al with another super chat. You don't have to super chat every time, buddy. I promise. Thank you so much again for the super chat, and the support is greatly appreciated. I think it's about that time for Arcade1Up to wrap it up. Let New Wave Toys come in with their 1-to-1 and Unico take over the community. I think that, like I said, this is kind of like a Nintendo PlayStation situation where you have AtGames and Unico pushing forward while, Arcade1Up's just kind of sitting here treading water. And is that going to work out for them? Well, not sure.
Thanks for supporting Fox.
Absolutely. I appreciate the support. It's needed. Is it justified? I don't know, but I'll take it. Just like I'll take this super chat from my good friend Bozo Calvin Jr., man. Always good to see you. Longtime supporter of this channel, and I love to see you coming through the chat, man. Thank you, 19K Fox, everything you've done on your channel. I did purchase Time Crisis Cab. Oh, sweet. For my Santa gift. My wife said I'm so naughty buying arcades. Well, sometimes it can be nice to be naughty.
All right, Justin. Shirts versus skins. Let's go.
I'm glad I finally got enough super chats to play that one again. Oh, that's good. That's really good. It is good. It's great. It's great to laugh. It's great to have fun. It's great to have friends like that. It's also really good to have friends like this. Dropping a super chat, $2. Jay Mason in the house. Thank you so much for your $2 super chat. Unico USA is in the house. Here you go, buddy.
Thanks for the super chat.
All right, so moving on. I wish I had my Grinch hat on because we've had a lot of fun tonight, but we got to get a little bit serious. We got to talk about something I think that is a bit of an issue. It's kind of a big issue. We're talking about Arcade1Up and not the fact that they've released something new or that there's some kind of leak. Unfortunately, that's not the case. Unfortunately, that is not the case at all. But listen, it is what it is. Something we got to talk about. So, what started out as pretty, just kind of ancillary, just got a little bit of news, not that big of a deal, was that Arcade1Up was not going to be at CES. Now, this news came to us from Michael B. V. Game Genie, not to be confused with some other Game Genie. This is the original Game Genie. He told us, hey, guys, listen, I just got a message from Arcade1Up, and they're not going to be at CES. just to let you know. Now, this upset a lot of people. There's been a lot of cause for concern. And I think that some people out there, maybe Arcade1Up, maybe some of us YouTubers, are trying to downplay that and say, well, you're just being crazy. You're jumping to conclusions. I don't think you're giving the community enough credit. I think those of us out here that are saying, oh, they're done, or well, maybe I'm not saying they're done, but if you have a lot of concern, it's not because we're not looking at one thing in a vacuum. It's not just, oh, they're not going to CES. You're looking back on a year of almost no new releases. 2 new products were released. The deluxe line was released, which was good, but it wasn't really new. It was a different form factor, but it was a very, very slow year. No matter what you thought of the new releases, it was definitely a very, very slow year. Price fluctuation has been insane, and then it started to just take a nosedive. And then when you hear on top of all this that they're not going to CES, that is a legitimate cause for concern. So I'm not here to dismiss those concerns. Now, are they going out of business tomorrow? No, I don't think that's the case. Is this a sign of negative or positive things to come? Well, that remains to be seen. But once again, we're not infants. We don't look at this in a vacuum. We're looking at this in totality. Look at everything as a whole. Think about it. Some people could say this is just one more step down the road to retirement or the road to bankruptcy. You could say that, hopefully. I think everybody can say that we want as many companies out there making these products as, competing with each other, because at the end of the day, the consumer wins when you have competition. If there's a monopoly out there, we tend to just not get what we really want. So I'm here to say that, hey, if you've got some concerns, I think your concerns are totally valid. I'm not going to sit here and just dismiss all those concerns, because I don't think that's fair. I think that's right. So Michael B says, they're not coming to CES. I made a YouTube short after he made that announcement saying, hey, all's fair in love and war, but here's just my 2 cents. They have not been to every CES. Now, they started off really strong. I think it was 2019 and 2020. 2019, 2020, and 2021. Now, 2019 and 2020 was the big years where we saw they showed up with a massive booth. They made the giant NBA Jam cabinet. They made the giant Marvel versus Capcom cabinets the next year. And it's just like, holy crap, this is a huge showing. And then the pandemic happens and things start to teeter off, but they still were there in 21. But a lot of people kind of forget that they actually didn't go in 22 at all. They just didn't show up. Now, they did have a lot of CES tie-ins. What they did is they announced their CES announcements. The new cabs were branded as the CES announcements. So when CES was going on, that's whenever we saw articles coming out and we saw them release the products or announce the products. So they weren't at CES, but they announced them in coordination with CES. Then the following year, in 23, last year, they were in a hotel while CES was going on. They were not on the convention floor, but, and here's the people saying, oh, you're just overreacting if you think that there's problems. If you look at if you look at the trend, right, they were trending up. They had gone all the way down to not showing up at all, just doing announcements, to, okay, now they're at a hotel at CES. Okay, well, that's a trend. They actually traveled there and got a suite instead of a booth. I'm sure it was a lot cheaper, but they were there at the event, and journalists could go up. I mean, there were people from, they were CNET reporters that were able to go up to the suite and check out the casino-cade. Okay, so they were trending upwards. So to see them just not show up at all, it's not, you can't just poo-poo that, pretend like everything's fine. I mean, you can fool yourself if you want to, but if you look at the age group of your consumer, we're not children. We're not foolish. We understand that you guys were on the way up. You were rebounding, and now you're back down to not showing up at all. Worse than that, you're not even telling us, except for Michael B., who's he doesn't work with Arcade1Up. He doesn't work for them. He works with them from time to time. He's still not an employee, so he's not privy to all the information. So we have that, and then we have, so there's nothing on the official channels, and then we have the Cornercade doing a live stream, and Travis just decided to pop on. Oh, that was okay. And Travis pops on, this was last week, and gives a little more clarity, expounds upon that announcement, or maybe he really just kind of gave his opinions. It wasn't really declarative statements, but he was able to kind of expound on that just a little bit, and it seemed to satisfy the panelists there. You had Danny and you had OTG there, and they seemed to be satisfied with that explanation. But then we found out something else on Friday that was really weird on the Super Game Room Dudes. It was really odd. It was really strange. It was almost as strange as another super chat coming to me from Bob. Man, listen, you don't have to keep super chat me, man. You need to give to the GoFundMe upstairs. I don't deserve any more money, but I'll take it all the same. For your $5 super chat, you want to know, just curious, how many more videos are you? Oh, do I have left? Well, let me see. We played that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. And I think there is only one more. I think I may have played them all, but well, you know what? Let's see. Let me know in the chat if I've played this one. And if the answer is yes, then guess what? I have officially run out of super chat clips. That's crazy. That's unprecedented. It's never been done. And let's keep that trend going with another super chat from JJ, $5. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat, man. I really do appreciate you always being here and supporting the channel. Good luck with that second knee or third knee. I guess you didn't really tell us you're getting a replacement. You said you're getting a new one. So maybe you're just going to have a third knee. That's sweet. An extra joint in one leg. That's crazy. Think of the things you'll be able to do. That's actually kind of disturbing when I think about it. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thank you for a great year of fun streams. 19K Box, you doing a stream next Sunday. Also looking forward to your CES coverage. Yes, we'll be doing a show next Sunday. Absolutely. Thank you so much for your $5 super chat. I appreciate it. But unfortunately, I think you're going to end up getting a recycled clip. So let's go ahead and start back at the top. And I guess we're actually going to do it. A second person is going to go to the pit.
Finish him. Melina wins. Flawless victory. Fatality.
And the hits just keep on coming. Another one, another super chat from Honest Al, dropping $10 this time, buddy. Easy. Save some money for Christmas. But I appreciate it all the same. $10, man. What would you like to know? To think how many community members think 1UP is fine is funny. The CEO and senior vice president left the company. It's over, especially with Cyrus taking the reins. Let's wake up, fellas. It's Unico's turn. Well, there's definitely room for Unico and AtGames to make a huge impression, come in swinging big with the technology, pushing it forward, pushing form factors forward. There's definitely a place there, even if Arcade1Up is still hanging out. But yeah, I think there's some cause for concern.
Finish him. Scorpion wins. Fatality.
So we had the announcement that came to us from Michael B, and he just got a text from Arcade1Up. And then the next day or a couple days later, we see Travis pop up on a stream. And he sort of addresses it, but he's really wanting to move on. He doesn't really want to get caught in anything. You know, he's like, he doesn't want to be caught in the middle of something. You know, but he made some comments about it, and he clarified what he thought that Arcade1Up's position was, and then they went on with the stream. Then we learned on Friday that the message that Michael B got was from Travis. So Travis sent the message. Well, this is a little bit weird, guys. It's a little bit odd. I don't understand what's going on. So first off, as of this morning, there's nothing on any Arcade1Up social media even addressing the CES appearance or the lack thereof. And to be fair, they don't have to tell us when they're not going somewhere. They should tell us when they are going somewhere so that we know they're going to be there. But if they're not going to go somewhere, they don't have to tell us that they're not going there, or they would never stop telling us stuff, places they're not going. You know, hey, by the way, we're not going to the farmer's market. Oh, man, I was hoping you're going to be there. Hey, we're not going to be to the Kroger's. I was going to get some milk and then get a cabinet. Now, they don't have to do that, right? But, you know, CES is kind of a big thing. And if they were going to pass that along to us, it should have been some kind of just formal announcement, a tweet, a comment. I think P-Dubs even in the live stream, on the Cornercades live stream, said that to Travis. Hey, it could have been just something as simple as, hey, we're not going to be there. But that didn't happen. But we got a text message to Michael B saying they weren't going to be there. But then then we find out that was Travis that sent him that message. But then we have Travis acting like this. So here's a clip. Here's a clip from the Cornercade show. And let's just watch it and check out his reaction, and then we'll talk about it. Here we go.
Move, your camera is following. I'm excited to talk about April, quite frankly. I am super excited to talk about April. We're going to talk about that in a minute.
Let's talk about April.
Questions
Something going on in April.
But let's just talk real quick. I only want to talk about a little bit of this because I'm not trying to be in the middle of anything.
He doesn't want to be in the middle.
Let's talk about April because I'm kind of hyped for that.
All right, guys. All right, let's. Okay. So like a lot of people are saying in the chat, they're like, "Hey, we got to put out the fires." Travis, what exactly is going on? Like, we get a text message. Mike B gets a text message. Arcade1Up's not going to be at CES. Your camera's going. By the way, when you move, your camera is following you.
Yeah, it's following me, man. It's
it's
it
locked on, dude.
Fancy stuff. That's so awesome,
man. It loves me.
Well, dude, you guys are professional. Nothing but the best, dude. But
right,
Travis,
we got like 3.5 minutes, and then we're talking about April. So we got until 6:50. So get him.
Okay.
Fire,
well, hey, explain yourself.
So he's really wanting to move on, and I noticed this. Knowing what we know now, knowing that he's the one that sent the message to Mike, he's really wanting to move on. He really doesn't want to spend any time on this. Let's just hear what he has to say.
So I don't work for one
out.
out.
I'm not explaining nothing. I'm here helping you out. I ain't got nothing to explain. Myself. What do you think this is? I'm not explaining nothing. I'm here helping you out. I ain't 6:50. So get him.
Okay.
Fire,
well, hey, explain yourself. I don't work for one out.
I'm not explaining nothing. I'm here helping you out. I ain't got nothing to explain. Myself. What do you think this is?
So you were listening to the stream, correct? Or
yeah, I heard part of it. Yeah.
Okay. So don't you find it a little odd? Like Arcade1Up didn't come out with you, maybe Mike B, and say, "Hey, this is what's going down. This is what's happening. Don't worry, guys. We can't make it there, but we got something special planned for you. Just wait."
I think that's exactly what they said.
You mean
Did they?
You mean you? Here's the weird part, guys. He's the one that sent the message. He's the one that told Mike B that Arcade1Up wasn't going to CES. Why is he now acting like he doesn't know anything about it? Why is he acting like, he doesn't, I don't want to be in the middle of this. You're the one that sent the message. Now, listen, it would be odd maybe and I would understand if he was an accountant or if he was serving in some sort of other capacity. But dude, you are the community liaison and you don't do any liaising. I mean, when you do, this is the kind of reaction we get. And
I'm excited to talk about April.
I thought this was rude to say this to Danny, especially when I think that this is exactly, and this is the problem with Arcade1Up. I think this is their attitude towards the community. And this is just, well, in my opinion, it's not acceptable.
He's got that fancy stuff.
You guys are professional. Nothing but the best, dude.
But right, Travis, I'm like 3.5 minutes, and then we're talking about April. So we got until 6:50. So get him.
Okay.
Fire,
well, hey, explain yourself. I don't work for one out.
I'm not explaining nothing. I'm here helping you out. I ain't got nothing to explain. Myself. What do you think this is?
So do you?
What do we think this is? This is you liaising with the community that you're supposed to be, and that's your job title, and he's asking you to explain himself. Now, maybe Danny could have worded that differently, but Danny's all smiles. Come on, he's not being combative, and you came on his channel. So, yeah, you got some explaining to do, and I thought that was pretty disrespectful to just sort of, I'm doing you a favor. No, this is your job to liaise with the community, to talk to us, to go back and forth. Not to send a text message to Michael B, and then pretend like you didn't send it. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't know why you're acting so sketchy. Really doesn't make any sense. Just tell us, hey, they're not going to be at CES. Okay, great. We can move on with our lives. And as to why they aren't going, you could either expound on that or you could just say, hey, listen, we just don't have anything to present at this time and move on. And considering the year you had, that would just be par for the course. I don't think anybody would bat an eye. Okay, here we go. But it's really weird. That attitude of, I don't need to explain myself. What do you think this is? Oh, well, we thought this was you coming on to explain what's going on with Arcade1Up. And to be in such a rush to just move on because you don't want to be in the middle of it, knowing that you sent the message, I don't understand why all the secrecy? Why this odd game that you're playing? I mean, why can't you just be honest with us? And he made a comment in the stream talking about, oh, you don't want them to be transparent. Not 100%. Just tell us when you have a decision. After you've made a decision, tell us about it. Tell us about it. I mean, that's all you got to do. I mean, we don't have to know every single corner that you take in making your decision. But once a decision is made, hey, let us know. We don't have to know why you're not going to CES or how you got to that decision. But when you made the decision, let the community know. When you've got a cabinet coming out, hey, let us know. When you have a cabinet coming out and it's not an arcade recreation and it's not an accurate representation and the game is not exactly what we saw in the arcades, just let us know so we can make our own opinions. But I thought it was odd to get that kind of pushback from the company liaison from Arcade1Up. Thought that was really odd, especially when you consider they have their own YouTube channel. There hasn't been a lot of activity on there besides the championship, which is awesome. The fighting game championship is great, but not a lot of Arcade1Up updates, not a lot of news coming out. So we're kind of hungry for information because we care. We enjoy this. We enjoy buying Arcade1Up products. You have something to say, you pass that information on to someone else, that's fine. But then why are you acting like you didn't do it earlier? It seems shady to me, and it seems unnecessarily shady on something so trivial. You're not going to CES. Okay, moving on. But I don't understand. It was a really, really odd chain of events that happened to pass that information on and then show up and act like you had no idea what's going on. I don't know. Well, hey, I guess that's what they said. I don't know. I have nothing. I don't have to explain myself to you. Well, no, you don't. But then don't be shocked when we really don't have any interaction. There is no interaction because you're just not there, liaising, as it were. And I think, I think Danny deserved a little more respect on his live stream when he asked you a simple question. He gave you a platform. So yeah, you did owe him something. And if you didn't feel like talking about it, maybe you shouldn't have come on. And maybe next time, Danny will just kick you off because I thought that was uncalled for. But I thought that was par for the course when it comes to Arcade1Up and their, opinion of us. And maybe it's just not there. Maybe they should just stop. Don't worry about it. Forget about it. The community has interacted before they had their own YouTube channel. The community has interacted and talked about this stuff before they even got involved. Maybe they should just stick to making the products that they make. And when they come out, we'll react to them. And we'll decide if we want to make them, if we want to buy them or not, if we want to make the purchase or not. Maybe we should just leave it at that. Because unfortunately, this whole community thing, not too good at it. And it's been years and years and years of failure. And now we have active deceit going on. And it's unnecessary. And I don't understand it. And the biggest problem is what it does, it makes us not trust you. And that is a damn shame. You know it's not a damn shame? Another super chat, $20. Thank you so much, Jason. Little Alien, for your $20 super chat and supporting the channel. I really do appreciate you, man. Have a very Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year, Fox. I've really enjoyed your channel this year and look forward to another year of fun. Hope we get to meet up next year. Much health and wealth in the new year. Well, listen, I don't know about the wealth, but I hope the health. I hope that works out. I can't thank you so much. It's been a great year. It's been a fun year. I have no plans of stopping. I can't wait to go to more conventions and see more of you and talk to more of you and figure out what's going on in your arcades and what are you into and what are you passionate about. That's when I have some of the most fun, just hanging out and talking to you. So thank you so much for your $20 super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. It's super helpful. And here you go.
Let's go.
Wolverine wins!
Rookie.
No problem, buddy. I thought it was relevant. I thought everybody needed to know. It is what it is. Yeah. So moving on, I think this is an interview. Yeah. It is. It's something to think about. Also something to think about is a $4 super chat, $4.99 super chat from Honest Al, throwing them down tonight. Thank you so much, man. 1UP equals lies. Travis equals works for 1UP. Travis equals a lie. It's simple math, fellas. Trust no one. I'm not going to call the man a liar, but this is a thing that they should just be honest about. I don't know why we got the deceit going on. I don't know why we got the cloak and dagger. These games we're playing doesn't make any sense. Especially it's something that's just trivial. So if you don't want to get in the middle of something, don't interject yourself or don't inject yourself into the conversation. For sure. Let me scroll down. Did I miss anybody? Did I get anybody? Did I leave anybody? I did. It was a guy that I left. I didn't pick him up. He's still waiting for me to go to the Cleveland Game Show. Maybe next year. Are you still going to CES now that 1UP isn't? I still have my plane ticket. I still plan to. But things could change. I've got something. I'm talking to somebody. I'm trying to see if I can maybe still take that. I'm still taking that time off for CES, but I may not only go to CES. I'll keep you in suspense because nothing is confirmed yet, but I'm excited at the potential of maybe doing something besides that. All right, everybody, I have kept you long enough for Christmas Eve. You need to get back to waiting for Santa. Maybe you have some milk or some cookies you got to put out there. But before I let you go, before we do all that, we got to talk about one more thing, and that is the last poll question. Speaking of Santa and cookies and milk, what did you decide that Arcade1Up deserved in their stocking for 2023? Was it candy or was it coal? Well, let's check it out. Let's see. I'm curious to see how this pans out. Okay, so we have 81 votes, so we have a little more than the second. I think this is about the second highest voting tally. 82 votes. Real quick, I'm going to end this poll real quick, guys. 83 votes. Arcade1Up, is it candy or coal? We're going to end the poll, and while it's not crazy lopsided, it is the first negative of the night. 56% say coal, while only 43% say candy. So the candy to coal ratio has shifted slightly. But what that tells me is that all hope is not lost. All things can possibly be forgiven. I mean, come on, take heart, people. Even the worst player, even the worst kid on Christmas is still getting 43% candy. And, given the current state of our politics, those poll numbers aren't bad. Would you look at that?
What the hell?
Yo, the sign is real simple, B. It says wrap it up.
Unfortunately, it is that time to wrap it up, but don't worry. I'm going to be bugging you a little bit later this week. Actually, I'm going to be bugging you all week. The 5 days of streaming is kicking off tomorrow night. That's right. Christmas night, we're going to kick off the 5 days or 5 nights of streaming. This is the time frame usually reserved for before Christmas, but because of the way the Christmas vacation kind of fell, we're going to do this between Christmas and New Year's. So it's a perfect time to talk about the whole year in review, and we have 5 shows to do it. We're going to break it all down. We're going to have a few giveaways, maybe have a few special guests, and spend a lot of time talking with you in the chat. You're going to be playing a big part in all this. And that's it. 5 days of streaming coming up. But for right now, it's time to get upstairs and nuzzle in bed and have visions of sugar plums dancing in your head. Why not? Because it's Christmas. We got a lot to be thankful for, guys. Thank everybody for being here. Thank you for helping the channel grow, watching the videos, sharing the videos, hanging out with me every Sunday in the chat. 129 episodes, guys, is nothing to sneeze at, and I appreciate it. It's not lost on me, the weight of that. It's a long-running show, and we're going to keep running as long as you're interested in watching what we're doing here. So everybody, thank you so much for stopping by and leaving super chats like this one. One more, $1.99 for Honest Al, from Honest Al. Thank you so much for your $1.99 super chat, buddy. You're doing 5 nights. I can't afford that. No super chats required, just your attendance. And even that's not required. It's just appreciated. Let me go ahead and give you something. Here you go.
Flawless victory. Fatality.
And just want to forget before we leave for tonight, guys, appreciation for everything that everybody's done and the year that we've had. Some of us had really hard times. There is a pinned comment in the chat right now. It is a link to the GoFundMe for JC, the owner and I guess operator and does everything over there at Tulsa Arcades. They got hit with a huge tragedy. The news just broke yesterday or today. I just found out about it today about his wife having cancer. And so go up there, click on that, read their story. And if you got the ability to, please consider giving just a little bit of money to help them kind of do the best that they can, make the best of it. I know everybody, there's a lot of stuff going on this year, this time of year, right? Everybody's got a hand out. They got their hats out. They want your money. So I understand if everyone is not in the position to give, but if you are, please consider it. It's another community member who it's pretty devastating news that he just got. But anyway, beyond that, I will see you here tomorrow and every night this week where we're going to dig into the year in review. We're going to talk about everything that happened and everything that we hope will happen next year with all these companies. I think we have just an embarrassment of goods We have all these different, I love not having just one company talk about all these different options, all these things that could happen. But anyway, everybody have a great evening. I hope you have a phenomenal Christmas tomorrow. I hope you get everything you want. I hope you're able to give everything you wanted to give, because the joy you get off from giving is just, you can't really measure that. Anyway, everybody, Merry Christmas, and I will see all of you next time. Peace.